Squid sitting down on the beach. On goes a 2.5 Yamashita. A bit more expensive, single jig. Double jig wasn't working, so let's mix it up again. I think that was a 7 or 8 casts with the double C weights, no joy, so let's change it. Let's see. Squid on. Squid on, guys. Let's head torch on. That's better. Come on in, you cunt. I've just changed to a white Yamashita, and first cast, it hooks up. First squid of the night, get in. There we go. Alright, first squid of the night, happy days. That is good, and a good sign. I've been fishing with some different jigs and I've not had a sniff. And I thought, oh, do you know what, I'm going to put on it's an orange Yamashita. I thought it was a white one, but it's not. It's an orange Yamashita. It's a bit more of an expensive one. And I just flicked it out, let it settle, and that was first cast. So I'm not sure if that was coincidence, I just got lucky and had it first cast, or whether or not actually it's going to make a difference. And I guess we're going to see. That's good though, first one. But yeah, just flicked out, and all we were doing is just little twitches, let it stop. And there's another one, bang on. There you go, so that's not a coincidence. There you go, another squid on. So that is now got about 15 casts with nothing, maybe 20 casts with nothing. Changed to an orange. Oh, it's just come off. It's just come off down there in the edge, but that's an orange Yamashita, and straight away another bite. So that's not a coincidence. I'll keep the lights on, let's see if I can turn the head torch off. Come off about 10 foot from the bank there, which is disappointing. But that's not a coincidence then, so that's 2 casts, 2 squid then. Oh, it's annoying it come off then. Yeah, just ever so slow reeling. Feel that bump in the bottom now. That's annoying there. It got away right in the edge. I saw a big cloud of ink. Must have had one last go for freedom and won. Right, there we go. That's all the jig is. Just an orange Yamashita. I think that's a 2.5, that one. Well, let's go again. They're here. Game on. That is not coincidence. Yeah, loads of casts for nothing, not even a twitch. Switch jigs, and instantly 2 casts. 1 squid landed, 1 lost. Just a slightly smaller jig, different colour. And there's another one. There's another one. There's another one on right now. Oh, there we go. Found what they want. Found what they want. I'll try and keep a bit more tension on this one. Got a better on this one. Again, making a bit of a gasp for freedom. There we go, that's another one. Another nice one. It's another nice one. Yeah, there we go. On that orange Yamashita. On that orange Yamashita, look at that, there we go. Hooked in the tentacles. Big eyes, that's why I don't use lights at squid. Don't use them, don't need lights. Big predators in there. Boom. And we are off and running. Happy days. Right. I'll keep us running I'll see if I can get one real time. That's mad, because I've been here in probably an hour using all manner of jigs and getting a bit despondent. Even though the conditions are absolutely perfect tonight, you will not get a better night for squidding. It is absolutely perfect. No takes. Change the jig and suddenly we're off. Step back in a minute and it wet. Trying to move, that's more of a priority than squidding right out. Don't want to get wet. I'll have to shuffle up the beach here, it's not easy on these legs. Right, that's 4 casts, 3 squid, 2 landed, 1 lost. That's the difference that jigs and sizes and colours can make. Mental. I know I've covered it before. Oh, thought we had another one then. You do get them right in the edges. Where those waves are lapping up, they come in on the hunt. Oh, I on that. I think we've got another one on, guys. Yeah, it's good on. This one was right in the edge. I just held the jig. Baby one, that's exactly what I was after. I just held the jig in the edge. These little ones, they like to hang out right in the edge. There we go. These smaller ones, they like to hang out in the edge. And all I did was just hold the jig there in the shallow water. Bang, took it. Awesome. Again on the Yamashita. Yeah, all I did there was I just held it right in the edge. Yeah, just held it right in the edge and let the tide just swish it about. And it went tight and that was it. Squid on. There's like a little lump, there's a little gravel bar here. And you feel the jig bump over it and then it drops into another 3 or 4 foot of water. Just like you get on the beach, have the little troughs. And as it come over that gravel bar, I just held it there. The tide, swish it about. Yeah, there's a gravel bar. And I was just holding it. Once it comes over that bar, just holding it in the edge. And the squid picked it up maybe 10 foot from the shore. I try to keep the lights off the water. I know there's certain groups will put loads of lights in the water. I don't do that, you don't need it. I know it attracts the bait fish and they say that attracts a squid and whatever else, but they're already in here hunting bait fish. They're already in here hunting. So that's why I don't use lights, but if you do, brilliant, let me know in the comments. So peaceful when it's like this. Alright, set up tonight is a Penn conflict eggy rod. So it's a proper dedicated squid rod. And we've got a Penn Battle 3. I think we've got 18 pound braid on there. I'll use 18 pound. I know you can go a lot lighter. And if I was just squidding, which I am tonight to be fair, you can do that, but I sometimes clip on a bass lure. If the squidding's a bit hard or I think it's a bit bassy, I clip on a bass lure. I like a little bit stronger line for that. And where I'm fishing, it's a shingle beach, but there is snags out there, bits of reef and all that sort of stuff. So I do have slightly stronger braid, and I have a little leader on the end as well. I think it's 12 pound leader. Bit of fluorocarbon just to one, give me something to tie off on, and like I said, just a little bit of abrasion resistance. And then we're fishing with that Yamashita at the minute. Got a white one on now. It's peaceful on calm nights like this when these waves are just, they're not crashing, they're just literally gently running up and down. It's not something you'd get in a massage room, it is relaxing. Alright, You probably aren't going to make this out on camera, but that was a horrible steep bank that I had to climb up. Tide was coming in at some point. You know, I don't want to be leaving it last minute and then find I'm struggling to get up the shingle bank. Yeah, that was hard work. It's been hard on my legs tonight. But yeah, I'm up here now and I'm sat on my white bucket. This is why I get the big white buckets from Amazon. I'll put a link in the description because actually they double up as a seat, and it's a mad difference just sitting down and taking the pressure off my legs and not having my full weight push through the ends of my legs. It makes a big difference to be able to sit down like this. And I'm on the top of a high bank, so can still get the squid easily, cast down to it. Trouble is, when you get one, you've got to drag it up the bank and they can come off. But you've got to get one first, so here we go. Oh, taking 5 minutes, nice coffee. Let's go again. I am losing a bit of distance here because I'm sat back maybe 15, 20 foot from the edge, but I'm high up. But unfortunately, that's just how it goes. If I had legs, I'll be down there in waders on the edge. But I don't have that luxury, I'm afraid. It does cost me fish, but we're not going to moan about it. We just get on with it. Back on the orange Yamashita. Oh, we just dropped one, guys. We just dropped one. See if I can tempt it back. Oh. No, he ain't going to come back. Just drop one there. Right in the edge again. Right, come on. Love that sound. Like a whip. Right. I must say this eggy rod, Penn conflict eggy rod, is nice. Normally I just use a standard spinning rod, but I thought, oh, do you know what, this year I'll because last year was so much fun and it was just, you know, they were everywhere last year. We're doing big numbers. I thought, oh, do you know what, this year I'll get a proper squid rod just to see the difference, and you can see the difference in it. It's much more, it's more of an all-through action, as in like the whole bend goes all the way through the rod. There's one, get her on. Squid on, squid on. There you go, squid on. Right, now we've got the problem of trying to get it up this bank. Let's tighten that drag up a little bit. I see it coming in from out there. Trying to keep that tension. Right, well, it's on the shingle. I'll try and keep it on there. So any person with legs now would simply walk down and grab this. I don't have that luxury. It's a nice one though. Got to try and keep the tension on it. And there we go. Squid sitting down on the beach. Beautiful, there we go. You can see where he shot that tentacle out. That's where he's caught it in there. Look. Perfect. That's another one. Good size. Lollygol vulgaris. And the Yamashita again. Yeah. As I was saying, any normal person, able-bodied, quote unquote, just would have ran down there and grabbed that on the edge, and you're never going to lose a squid once you got it on the bank. With me, I physically can't really get down there without then struggling again and putting myself in danger. Flat calm night like tonight, it's okay. But it only takes me to trip over, I go head first into the sea, and you don't underestimate the power of the waves. You know, even on a calm night, that sea is drawing in and out, in and out. It wouldn't take long to have an accident, and for the sake of a squid, it is not worth putting myself in a bit of danger. Just something extra I have to think about with these two fake legs. And they were really hurting earlier as well. That's why I'm sat down currently. But as you can see, not affecting the fishing. And that one was a bit further out that one. I let that sink right down. Just a nice slow retrieve. And bang, it nailed it. Yep, squid on. There you go. Oh, right, dropped it. Just let that back, let it go. Yeah, it's back on. There you go. Back on. All I did there was just let that sink right down. That's come off again. Because I'm trying to talk to you on the camera. What I was trying to show you was it took it, got off, and then I just let it sit there. Don't bring it in, let it sit there and flutter down. And often they'll have a second go at it, even a third go. But he's been spiked there a couple of times, that one. He might not want to come back to that. Yeah, a bit like wrecking really when they miss it. Don't stop reeling. Sorry, don't just crank it in and go, oh, I've lost it. You know, keep at it, keep plugging away. He was definitely there for a couple of goes there. Right, good sign. Come on, do the same again then. So let's cast out. Gaze that bail on, take up the slack line. Right, I'm just going to let it sink. That's all I did, was let that one sink right down then. To see whereabouts they're working. Sometimes they work high up, sometimes they're down low. Right, there we go. Here we go, just stop and pause it, let it sink. There's one. Oh, he was on then. He had one on then. Come on, commit to it. Yeah. Oh, no, come on, commit to it. One there. Definitely one there. Come on. There's one, right on the edge. Oh, again it's come off. Why are these coming off, guys? What is going on? I think my jigs might be, he's back on, he's back on, he's back on. I think my jigs might be a bit blunt from the shingle. Yeah, it's come off again. I think what's happening, where I'm dragging it up the shingle, the jig that is, I think I've blunted my jigs a little bit. He's back on now, I've got him back on. Have I got him back on? No. No. Right, let's check these jigs. Right. And what can happen is these can get a bit blunt. They're not, they're still sharp. I've just been unlucky. Yeah, sometimes, especially on the cheaper jigs, I do like the cheaper jigs, there's nothing wrong with them. Except when you're dragging them up the shingle like this, the jigs, they bounce off the stones, they can get blunt quite quick. And I've just dropped a couple of squid there, and you know, it does happen, but you have to ask questions. You know, is there something wrong with your jig? Are you doing anything wrong? What's going on? But them barbs are absolutely fine. There's one again. There it is. There is one. That's 3 casts now and 3 squid dropped. Something is going on there. Right, come on, they're here. What is going on with that jig? I wonder. Nothing wrong with them barbs, they're still sharp. What am I doing wrong? That's what you got to ask yourself. No losing squid and fish happens, I know that, but that was 3 or 4 casts in a row there with 3 or 4 squid hooked. And only 1 to the bank. So what's going on? Yep, squid on. Squid on. And again, it's come off. And I can see it going down the bank there. I can see it just there. Lost that one on my shingle. Couldn't help that one. I'll see if I can get him back. Yeah, that one I couldn't help. I lost him down here on that bank, so he was hooked. No, but it was only a little one. Yeah, that was a little one, but he got caught up in the shingle. And I couldn't help that. Like I said, if I had legs, that would have been another one to the bank. But I don't, so it is what it is. Okay, he's back on. Right, he's on this one. I'll try and keep direct contact with him. I'm just going to steady reel this one. It's right out there, that one. That was out back. But again, I've got the trouble, I've got to try and get him up this shingle, which isn't easy. Right, this isn't pretty, but I'm having to hand line him in. But we got him. There we got him. It's another nice one. Look at that beauty. Bigger one. Out back that was. Another one. There we go. On the yam. Boom. So there now. There's a few out there. We've got to work hard here now. Squid off. Squid on. They're the ones we want for bait. Look at that. Tiny. They're the ones I'm losing in the edges. Tiny little things. Not much bigger than the jig. Look at that. And they're working right in the edges and they're just coming off. Frustrations, but that's okay. It's another one. There's a small one, this one, I think. Yeah. Definitely coming on over high water. They are turning on. I'm going to work fast now. Try and put some on. They are definitely there now. When they come through, they come right through in waves. So I'm just going to put the red light on. There we go. Right, tide's just starting to turn now. So we're literally probably, well, slack water now with a little tiny bit of ebb just starting. And it just seems that last half hour, I said it earlier on in the night, that they can just suddenly come on over high. And that's what's happening. I mean, I've dropped a few. I've got 1, 2, I think I've got 6 or 7 down there, but I've dropped 3 that come up halfway down the bank, and I would have had those if I could be able to chase after them and get them. And then obviously we've dropped a few that we never saw. So it's what it is. Here's another one. There it is. Just holding that jig in that tide and it's picking them up. I'm barely moving it to catch them ones. I'll keep my camera light on for you. I'll see if I can't get one now. Letting it sink right down out the back. And just little tiny flicks, slow as you like. And then just pause it. Little pause. And there it is. There's one. There's one there. Squid on. Squid on. Again, not a big one, but that's the technique, nice and easy. and line it up, but again we've got it. It's another one. I'll show you that in a minute. I'm going to get straight back out there because they're coming through now. Ooh, what's happened there? Tag it up again. There we go, come on in. Right, there's one on the floor just in front of me. When they come through, they come through. I'll show you that quickly while that jig sinks. Go on. Alright, so let's go again. Turn the bright head torch off and keep this one on. This light on top of the GoPro is not on the water. So just let it sink. A couple of gentle flicks. Slow reels. Pause. A couple of gentle flicks. Alright, squid on. This will be number 10 if we can get it in. Number 10. Number 10. And they're still out there, so I'm still going. That's good, number 10, that's double figures. I've got one just in the edges. A little baby one. Prime example, I left it, hit it, I left it, and it's had time to readjust. And look at that, it's got it banging that big tentacle there. They've got the little ones and they have two big ones that go, they shoot out. Yeah, he hit that, missed it. I just left it there to wash out in the tide. It was about 12 foot from the edge. And the tide was just washing the jig back and forth. And he's obviously come back in with a better aim. Bang, nailed it. Squid. I just lost another one. Well, I didn't lose one. They had a bump right in the edge. I did drop it back, but he didn't come back this time. It's only them small ones now. Not that I had it. I've had any monsters tonight. Had a couple of, you know, reasonable ones, but no krakens yet. They're on their way though. But it seems to be all the small ones in the edges now. I'm only going to try and get one more, I think, just to make it 12. And then I will knock it on the head. Tide's falling away fast now, so I have more shingle bank to pull them up. So I think one more, and I think that'll be us. They're still feeding, so they are still here, so if I can just hook one, hopefully we can get it in. And then that's us. I don't like leaving it on an odd number. I don't know if anyone else is that way inclined, or if it's just my brain, but I don't like odd numbers. I have the telly on an even number, or I have to leave the squid on an even number. Yeah, 11's not sitting right with me. Squid fishing at night is my version of carping and lake fishing. You know, when for those of you that do both, or do a bit of an all-rounder type fishing, which I do, this is the equivalent of sitting by a lake for me. I love it. It's very peaceful, very tranquil. I enjoy squidding as well. I think it's quite good fun. They do actually give you a little bit of a fight. I've heard people say they're like a wet bag, but I actually think they give you a little bit of a scrap. Nothing compared to a bass or a pollock, you know. But for what they are, they're quite good, I think. Yeah, we are really losing that tide now. Yeah, the jig's good. Sometimes the jig can like upend itself, so the tail's facing up and it doesn't sit or fish right, and you don't notice it because it doesn't look much different, and then you're not going to catch like that. So I thought that's what would happen, but jig's all fine. One more, that's all we need. Yep, you got it. That one is right out back, and again he dropped it first go. I just left the jig and he came back. We have got a bit more shingle bank to pull it up now. He's in though. That's 12. That's 12. I can't resist it. I've got stuff to do tomorrow. I've got stuff to do, but I can't resist it. When they're on, you can't stay. Can't leave it. Can't leave it. That's 12 though. Plus the 3 that I would have had if I had legs, that would have been 15. I know it's not because I haven't got them. But yeah, it's not been too bad. Yeah, so it come in, hit it, couple of pulls, come off, and I just held it there like that. And then the rod just went boop and come back again. Right, I'm going to go to dark here. There we go. Number 13. Number 13. You know what that means though. I can't get another one. I can't leave it like that. I should be at home. I should be at home in bed now. And there is number 14. There it is. Another one right in the edge. Oh, made a mess of that though, and I spun that braid up there. Get her up. That's the end of my nighttime squid session. Ended on 16, which is not a bad little return really. Dropped 4 because I got no legs because I couldn't run down the beach to catch them. I was out of the water for about 10 seconds, slowly sliding down. So that would have been 20. And I probably dropped double figures as well. So actually, you know, quite a productive evening really. I will get more though. I should have caught a few more tonight, I think. A little bit rusty, but that's okay. I can handle that. We own that when we do that. But yeah, 16 squid. Lovely evening by the sea. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all again soon.